What is going on, guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be ranking the restaurants on Deliveroo. As a delivery rider, I'm going to be giving you my perspective of picking up from these restaurants because it can be very different to when you're a customer going into these restaurants. You might be wondering, why have I included McDonald's at the end of this list? And because they don't deliver on Deliveroo. And the reason being is that I deliver for them so much through Uber Eats and through Just Eat via Stuart that I want to give you my opinion on this one. I'm going to save that one to the end of the video because it can be quite a controversial one amongst delivery drivers and riders. So yeah, wait for that one. We're going to start things off with KFC. Now, KFC in my city centre, we have two of them. One, I find myself waiting at least like 10 minutes, maybe longer, to actually pick it up. And one, I actually find that's pretty quick. They can leave me waiting for about 5 minutes, but that's not too bad. So I'm going to go with hit or miss. Next up is Five Guys. I'm going to put this one into not great. Now, if I was a customer, I would put this one into solid because I really enjoy Five Guys. But as a delivery rider, I just find Five Guys takes too long to get your order out to you. And it's not so easy to get their attention when you do have an order. So I'm going to put that one into not great. Taco Bell. So I've recently started delivering more for Taco Bell. I heard a few bad things from people in the past, so I stayed away from Taco Bell. But actually, once I started delivering for Taco Bell, I realized they were pretty solid. Like when I go into the restaurant, they're usually very quick to respond to me and to get me the order. So we're going to put Taco Bell as a solid option. Red Dog Saloon. I'm going to put this one into instant decline. Now, if you don't know Red Dog Saloon, they do like burgers and things like this. It's like kind of like a pub vibe. And I find that picking up from this restaurant can be problematic. First of all, when I go in to collect my order, usually it's not ready and I have to wait a long time. But also because of the pub environment, they don't have someone like in like a takeaway style restaurant to kind of answer to you very quickly. So I found myself waiting around trying to get someone's attention. That's one thing, and obviously waiting for the order forever. Usually when I go in there, I expect to wait like at least 10 minutes to get my order. Plus, it's not easy in Nottingham to lock up my bike outside of this restaurant. And now that they've opened up for dine-in customers, it just makes it an instant decline for me. So next up is Waitrose and Partners. So Waitrose, if you don't know, is like a fancy kind of high-end supermarket here in the UK. And with shopping orders, these can be problematic, especially for cyclists because of how heavy the orders can be. But I find with Waitrose, I quite like doing their orders. It's located very well in the city centre, so I don't have to like go outside of the city centre to collect my orders. They're really friendly in there, and they usually have your order ready there for you, and they pack it really nicely. It's just a nice kind of experience, even if some of the shopping can be a little bit heavy. I find that I enjoy delivering for Waitrose and doing these orders. So good on you, Waitrose. Next up, we have Burger King. Burger King's not great. And the reason why is because I feel like when I go into Burger King, they start preparing my order once I get there. Which is really frustrating because they're not supposed to be doing that. They should be preparing the order way before you actually get pinged on the app to go pick it up. And so I found myself waiting, 10, 15 minutes for an order. And they always tell me, like, I can't bring my bike into Burger King. All the other fast food places are fine with that usually. But that's fine if you don't want me to do that. But also, like, always asking me to, like, swipe the app and looking at the app. And although I understand why they do that, it can be a little bit annoying. Chaiwala. So if you've watched quite a few of my videos, you will know that I love getting some chai from Chaiwala. It's really tasty and it's just sweet and sweetness, goodness. Don't really know what I'm saying right now. But anyways, if I was a customer, this would be a must take. But I'm going to put it in solid. I haven't done too many deliveries of Chaiwala, but when I have done them, they've been pretty good. They usually have the order there ready for you pretty quickly, and they're very responsive. One of the things I do like when you go into a restaurant is that they acknowledge you, and they're letting their team know that you're here. Sorry about that. That you're here to collect the order. Next up, we have Chopsticks, which is a solid order. Not very long waiting times. I find that the order's usually there, ready for you to pick up. Friendly service, no qualms there. With co-op, now this is a bit of a tricky one. This can be a hit or a miss. And the reason being is because I said earlier in the video, shopping can be very heavy, especially if the customer orders a lot of shopping. And also you can have alcohol and like tobacco deliveries where you have to ID the customer. Even if they're like 80 years old, even if they look 80 years old, you still have to ID them, which can be a little bit frustrating for both the customer and myself as a delivery person, because it just doesn't make sense. But hey ho, that's that. Costa Coffee, this is a instant decline for me. I do deliver for Costa Coffee in my local town, and that's just because there's limited restaurants, and so that means limited orders. So I want to obviously make money in my local town, so I have to take these orders. But when I'm in the city center, there's so many orders that I just don't bother with these kind of hot drink places like Starbucks, Costa, Cafe Nero, just because there is a risk that the drink will spill. With hot drinks, these are notorious for spilling, especially when you're cycling. I just find that with orders like Costa Coffee, I find myself not enjoying delivering as much, just because when I'm delivering to the customer, I'm always in the back of my mind worried if the drink's going to spill, and I feel really tense when I'm riding my bike. I'm sure other people have experienced this. Next up is Cha Time, and this is going to be my very first must take. So if you don't know, Cha Time do like Chinese milk tea, bubble tea with like the pearls inside of them. I really enjoy actually ordering from them myself. And why it's a must take is because to make these kind of drinks, they're really low preparation time. So I find when I go to pick up the order, they have it ready for me, and if they don't have it ready for me, it takes them like 2-3 minutes maximum. And so it's really fast to pick up from them. They're really friendly, and I actually like ordering from them myself. You would have seen the next place in some of my videos. It is donuts. These are definitely going into must take. They are the best orders to take because donuts don't need any preparation. All you need to do is box them up and hand them over to the delivery driver. So every time I go to pick up from Donuts, they have the order ready for you straight away to pick up. And also they're super friendly, and it makes a huge difference when the people working in these places treat you like with respect, and they are friendly towards you. It just makes you enjoy wanting to go and deliver for these people. So next up we have tortilla, which is I think called tortilla burritos and tacos. This is going to go into hit or miss. Sometimes I don't have to wait for the order, I just pick it up, but sometimes I find that I have to wait at least 5 to 10 minutes for the order if they get really busy. So it's a hit or miss one. Pepe's Peri Peri Chicken, this is a solid one. I picked it from them a few times, and I find that I'm not waiting very long. It's very quick to pick up the order. Next up we have Ohana's Burger. Now this is going to go into instant decline. I picked up from them a few times, and what I find is similar to Burger King is that maybe it's to do with how they cook the burgers, but I find that they start preparing the order when you arrive, which is really frustrating. They're not supposed to be doing this, like I've said earlier in the video. Deliveroo gives them time to prepare the order before they ping that over to the delivery rider. And so what I find is I'm waiting 10 to 15 minutes, and you know, time is money in this job. So that's going to be instant decline. Pizza Hut for me is a instant decline. I've never actually picked up from Pizza Hut, but you might be wondering, well, why are you instant declining it then? It's because with pizza orders, I prefer not to pick them up. When you're in the city center and you've got so many different orders coming to you, for me, I find it's best practice to avoid pizzas. I've seen some people's pizzas topple over, the pizza fall out of the boxes, and so I'm a little bit kind of anxious about that, so I prefer not to do that. But also with pizzas, I find, I'm not sure about Pizza Hut, but with the Italian restaurants, they just take so long to prepare the pizzas. They usually put the pizzas in when you arrive, which is another thing. It's not that I don't take pizzas, I do take pizzas. My Stuart thermal backpack has plenty of space to fit pizzas as long as the box isn't super huge. German doner kebab for me is a must take. I actually really enjoy delivering for German doner kebab. They usually have the order ready for you when you arrive. I don't know what it is, it's just sometimes some of these things are just a feeling that I get when I deliver for places, and German doner kebab, I like delivering for them. Barburrito, so I'm not sure whether I'll put this into not great or instant decline. When I first started doing this work, I delivered for them quite a bit. But then I started to discover, as you learn with experience, that they just take too long sometimes to prepare the order. And I find a lot of drivers are waiting in there, which just goes to show you that they are taking their time. So I'm going to put it into instant decline. For some reason, I just don't enjoy picking up from them anymore. So I just prefer not to. Casper's is like a dessert place. I think they're not just in Nottingham. I'm going to put them into solid. Usually have the order ready for you when you pick up. It doesn't take too long to prepare desserts. Krispy Kreme's is my all-time favorite place to deliver for. Even since the beginning when I started delivering, Krispy Kreme's was #1. And like I said earlier, with donuts, they're really easy to prepare. You just have to box them up. When I go to Krispy Kreme's, I find that they have it waiting for me on the side, and it's so easy to pick it up. They're not checking my number. They're not checking to see if I've swiped collected on the app. They just trust you, and they have that trust with you. And I really appreciate that because, myself as someone who's an honest person, I don't mess around with these orders. I don't steal them. I don't do any of these kind of shady things. It's only a small minority of people who do this that kind of ruins it for the rest of us. And I find with places like Krispy Kreme's, they just give you that level of trust, and it's really nice to kind of feel that, because when I go into some other places, they're like, can I see your code? Can you swipe collected? And it's like, although I understand why they do it, it is kind of like, well, I'm just doing my job here. I'm not going to do anything shady. Next up, we have Fat Hippo, and during the lockdown, this would have been a hit or miss. The reason being is because sometimes I'll have the order ready for me very quickly. Sometimes I'll be waiting like 5-10 minutes, so hit or miss. And now I'm struggling to see, now that the restrictions have gone, and there's customers now eating in the restaurants, they've also put seating outside of the restaurant. And so what I find is that it's hard to get someone's attention. You have to go through all these customers or eating. I don't know, it just doesn't feel as comfortable to deliver for them. And I find myself waiting because now they've got customers, like dining customers. They take a lot longer to prepare the food. So I'm going to put this one as a not great. Nando's. So who wants a cheeky Nando's? I enjoy eating at Nando's. When it comes to delivering for them, I'm going to put them as a hit or miss. I find sometimes they have the order ready for you, and sometimes you're waiting for them. So Nando's, cheeky Nando's is a hit or miss for me. Pizza Express. So I'm struggling with this one because, like I said, pizzas I prefer not to deliver. I'm going to put it into instant decline. I was tempted to put it into not great. Sometimes Pizza Express don't just deliver pizzas, they deliver pastas. But the reason why I put it into instant decline is because I do find, like I said earlier, Italian restaurants can take their time preparing the order. So I'd rather not risk that, and that's why I'll put it into instant decline. So you might be wondering why I've got a Pokeball in this lineup. This Pokeball represents Poke Waves. They do like Pokeballs or Pokeball. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's like Hawaiian. And they have a food stall or food stand in Victoria Centre, so it's really easy to pick up from. And they always have the food pretty much ready as you arrive or within like a minute or two. So for me, it's always a must take. I really enjoy picking up from Poke Waves. Rooster's Piri Piri, I think it's like a solid choice here in Nottingham. Sometimes they make me wait a little bit, but I don't mind picking up from them. Sainsbury's is, for me, not great. I was tempted to put it into instant decline, but you can get some just ordinary shopping orders that aren't too heavy. But the problem with Sainsbury's compared to Co-op is you get a lot more alcohol and cigarette deliveries. And so, like I said, you have to ID the customers, and that can be a faff. So Sainsbury's, and also Sainsbury's, their locations aren't always central, so you have to go sometimes a little bit outside of the city or to the edge of the city. But anyways, Sainsbury's is for me not a great, anyways. Subway for me is a solid option. Always have the food pretty much ready for me when I pick up. Sometimes, like on occasion, they do keep me waiting, but for me it's a solid option, both in the city centre and in my local town. I don't mind picking up Subway orders at all. TGI Fridays for me is going to be a hit or miss. I'm going to go for not great. And the reason being is because their waiting times can be long. And I think it's because they start preparing the food when you arrive, or it takes them long to prepare the food just because of the nature of what they're cooking. And also they have the priority with their dine-in customers. So you don't get many TGI Friday orders, and so it's not too much of a big issue. Wagamama's is hit or miss. I find that they're pretty pretty good. They don't make you wait too long, but there usually is a waiting time. But I don't mind picking up from them, so I'd say sometimes it's okay. Wildwood is a Italian restaurant, and so I don't mind. Like during the lockdown, they didn't have any dining customers, and so I would have put it into kind of hit or miss, or even solid, just because it wasn't taking me very long to pick up the order. But now that they've got dining customers, I reckon it's gonna be like, I haven't had a Wildwood order recently, but I would put it into not great. I could put it into instant decline, but I don't mind picking up from Wildwood, but I haven't picked up for them recently, so it could be an issue with there being dining customers. Yo Sushi is a hit or miss. I've picked up a few orders, and some of them have been instant pickup, and some of them I've been waiting like 15 minutes. So definitely hit or miss. ZZ's, I'm going to put it in the same boat as Pizza Express. Now I'm looking at Wildwood and thinking, why am I putting these two Italian restaurants there and Wildwood there? But anyways, I'm going to go along with it. ZZ's for me is an instant decline, just because the pizza's Italian restaurant. You've heard the spiel. And now we have come to McDonald's, the one you have been waiting for. So when I first started delivering, I had some issues with McDonald's, and so I would have put it into not great. I had issues with staff being rude. I had issues with drink spills. Just going into McDonald's, I wasn't really enjoying that whole experience of going into there. But things have changed. I actually enjoy delivering for McDonald's now. I'm going to put it as a must-take. And to go from not great to must-take, like, so what's changed? Well, first of all, when it comes to drink spills, I haven't had a drink spill. I think I've had one drink spill in the past 9 to 10 months. Whereas previously, when I first started doing this work, I was getting drink spills on the regular. And that's because they've improved their packaging, and I've noticed it hugely on their cold drinks, on their hot drinks, and so I haven't had any issues with that. The staff have been actually pretty good. I haven't had any instances where they've been rude to me. I know that other people have, but from my experience, people have been really, actually really nice to me. I even had a manager offer me a bottle of water when it was really hot, so yeah, things are really good. And the overall feeling when I pick up from McDonald's is like a lot better now, to the point where I actually really don't mind delivering for them, especially because on Uber Eats and on Stuart, who deliver for Just Eat, I get paid pretty well to do these deliveries. So yeah, good job, McDonald's. Like, I didn't think I would be saying this like a year on. If you're a delivery rider or a delivery driver and you have a difference of opinion because you picked up from these places in your city and they do things a little bit differently, please let me know in the comments down below, because I'd find it super interesting to see what your experience is.